A pleasant good morning to my native people on the island of Barbados and all those scattered throughout the diaspora. I know many are rejoicing and many are not rejoicing because of the rigged fraudulent election that just took place. Yes, I say that. It was rigged and fraudulent because you had many people who were disenfranchised willfully from casting their votes at the polls to make their choice. But there is another deeper factor that has hurt the people in Barbados from liberating themselves. And that is a lack of faith and fear. Because many stayed home out of lack of faith, and many also because of fear of the street thugs that's associated with this wicked administration. But an example of that happened to the Israelites. After God liberated them from the slavery of Egypt and brought them forth, many showed a lack of faith and fear to enter the promised land. And because of that, many of them died in the wilderness, and God did not allow them to enter into his rest. Now, that can be seen in the book of Hebrews. In Hebrews chapter 3, verses 16 to 19, this is what it said. For who were those who heard and yet rebelled? Was it not all those who left Egypt, led by Moses? And with whom was he provoked for 40 years? Was it not with those who sinned, whose bodies fell in the wilderness? And to whom did he swear that they would not enter his rest, but to those who were disobedient? So we see that they were unable to enter because of unbelief. So when we, for 3 years or more, was on 246 Belgian Vice and many other forums warning the people to show faith and not fear, and not to follow a godless, heathenistic, communistic atheist like me and Mortley, who had thrown God behind her back and disavowed God and holiness and Christianity. Many people in Barbados decided that they were going to go along with the disbelief in God and the fear. And because of that, they have suffered the consequences. It's not that Mia is so great a leader that she went through it. No. It's because of the people of Barbados had thrown God and Christianity and faith behind their backs, and then see the possibility that God is able. Because 2 days before the election, after I put up those prayers, one said to me, prayers do not work in Barbados. Let me repeat that. He said to me, prayers do not work in Barbados. So if you have that mindset that prayers is useless, is God going to work a miracle for you? No. Look at Matthew 13:58. What happened there in Nazareth? It said that Jesus could not perform many miracles and powerful works because the people lacked faith and was steeped in unbelief. They did not believe in the power of God, but they showed fear. And because of that, Jesus left them and abandoned them because of their lack of faith. So in Barbados, the reason why the people cannot liberate themselves from demonic BLP administration is because they lack faith and live in morbid fear. And so God abandoned them, just as Jesus abandoned his hometown of Nazareth because they lack faith in the power of God. So when the people of Barbados decide that prayer and faith and godliness is not the answer, God will not work a miracle. So it's not that me is so great, it's because the people have decided to turn their back on God and follow a demonic heathen like me, that God have abandoned them. If they had shown faith in what we was telling them on 246 Beijing Vibes and on other forums that was warning them, and many preachers came on YouTube and warned them, but did they listen? Did they listen to what God was telling them? Like how the Israelites failed to listen to what Moses was telling them? So when you fail to follow God's lead and his admonition and put faith in his mighty arm and his power, he will not work for you. He will abandon you to your own fate. So until the people of Barbados return to godliness and a Christian way of living and have faith in God, nothing will change. They will continue to suffer and die and die and suffer and die like they are having. And everything you see death in Barbados, you ain't seen nothing yet. I am predicting for surety that there's going to be a great catastrophe within the next 6 months on that island. Just as thousands died in the wilderness because of lack of faith and rebellion against God and Moses, the same thing is going to happen in Barbados. Because this administration will bring more of those dirty vaccines, all kind of mandates, more dirty water, more poison foods, and whatever to kill you off. Just like when Jim Jones give the Kool-Aid and they drink it. Because the media has turned the BLP into a Jim Jones-like cult. And you have some gullible, very gullible followers in that cult. And we know what happened in Jonestown. We know it's going to happen in Barbados. You mark my word. There will be more crime, more gun shootings, more kidnappings, more rapes, and more death in various ways. And then she will resign and escape when things get too out of hand and leave them there in the mire to wallow for themselves. Yes, the election was lost because of lack of faith. When we told the people to come out and trump the votes, many stayed at home. Many went to the polling stations to find that their name was not there. Or, you live in St. Philip, you had to go to St. Andrew or St. Joseph to vote, and vice versa, confusing the process. It was all demonic. I told you all before that is what it is. Okay? So that God could not work his miracle for you because you lack faith. You did not obey his call. When he tell you to come out by the throngs and vote this administration out, you hold back in fear and disbelief. Okay? Many of you stayed at home. Less than 38% of the eligible voters in Barbados turned out to the polls. And we warned you that if you stayed home, you will not get the results you deserve. But did you all listen to us? Did you all listen to the people in the diaspora who was telling you the truth? No, you did not, because Barbadian people have now come an arrogant people, a stiff-necked people, just as the Israelites when God brought them out of Egypt. Oh, you can't tell us nothing. Even my own daughter told me that I was trying to become a bully, telling the people who to vote for. But the people have their own mind to do what they want to do. You hear that? And she said she is not going to vote, not even for her mother that day. So you see that arrogant, rebellious mindset is the same mindset the people of Israel displayed in the wilderness and died by the thousands for it. And so the people in Barbados have died a political death, a financial death, an educational death, and every death there is, and natural death will follow, like the thousands that died in the wilderness because of unbelief and fear and not trusting God. So I'm here to tell you, you all have sealed your own fate. And until you all return to have faith and trust in God, the island of Barbados will have no liberation. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Oh, let my people will hearken to my voice and humble their hearts and return to me with all their hearts. Then I will listen from heaven and I will heal the land. Remember that. You all failed to do that. Blame your own selves. You were on the cusp of being liberated. But a lack of faith and rebellion and stubbornness caused you all to lose out on the prize. Whatever you suffer from now on in is of your own making, and it will not be good. We will keep praying for you. We'll keep you in our hearts. But until then, you have to do your part. So long.